right, everybody. We are back on Instagram Live. Let me tell you, that Mark Zuckerberg, that dude is on one today. He is on one today. I already tried to do a live today with Brielle, my friend of the Gilded Bellini, and my Instagram just completely blacked out. It's like my phone just imploded out of nowhere. And my Instagram cut out, went away, recording went away. I don't think that Zucky liked what I had to say and what I was talking about. I think that they're watching. I'm just going to wait for a couple people to come in here. We're going to get this going. It is such a tense time, isn't it? My God. You guys can probably hear it in my voice. I'm like exacerbated. Exacerbated? Blech. Journalism degree. Killing it. Yeah, it is such an intense time. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I just need to get laid. Same with probably millions of people out there who also need to get laid. Just gonna wait for a few of you to join, and then we will get this cracky-lackin'. All right, so let's see here. I think that Zuck is physically in here blocking my stream from people because I think people aren't seeing this, but I'm just gonna talk anyway, and I'll put it up as a live. Hopefully it works this time because last time it didn't work. So, you guys know in Mean Girls when Tina Fey has the line and she says, we have to stop calling each other sluts and whores because it just makes it okay for guys to call us sluts and whores. I feel like that goes for the left and the right now. Like, you guys, it has to stop. It's gotta stop. I mean, Dave Portnoy, you guys know I jerk off to him. He said it perfect. He said, the extreme left, you fucking suck, and the extreme right, you fucking suck. You all fucking suck. I'm right there with him on that one. I am right there with him. There are two things that I want to bring up today, and I want to bring up the overarching idea in that it feels like not only are we pointing fingers going, you're wrong, you're ignorant, you're wrong, you're racist, you're ignorant, you're stupid, and this comes from the left and the right. What gets me is that it feels like certain things can't even be discussed. It can't even be discussed, right? So without, throwing labels and this and that and the other thing. So the first one is, hey, CXM, he said, preach. I had to follow your page. I'm glad to see you again on here. He was in our last live stream about COVID, seemingly miraculously disappearing, which is the first thing I'm going to address here. So I don't think it takes a rocket scientist for people to have a little bit of whiplash right now and be like, wait a second, where the fuck did COVID just go? Was this a doing of Harry Potter? Was this a spell? Where did it go? It's this beast that is horrible and that has completely, I've said it so many times, dismantled our lives, right? We can't run our businesses. Our businesses are shutting down. The depression is out of control. The anxiety, can't send our kids to school. And, it's all that we heard about. On CNN, they would have a constant rundown of the COVID numbers, right? And now, celebrating Biden's victory, we see these herds, these masses of people partying and celebrating in the street. And I have to tell you, any person with eyeballs and ears would be like, wait, what just happened? We have all these intense mask and social distancing rules in place. We can't even go to school. We can't even go to work. But these celebrations are okay and are allowed. And I know right away you're going to be like, oh, here she is again, defending Trump and defending the right. Before I get to them, because they are not guilty in this either, I just want to say that this to me is a perfect example of how I think A, people only see what they want to see, and B, how the media exploits that and plays up to it, right? So you would see on CNN when Trump would have his rallies leading up to the election, literally the headlines would be, maskless people and Trump is so irresponsible for having these rallies, and therefore it would cause people to throw labels on Trump supporters saying, they think that it's a hoax. None of them are wearing masks. I don't see one person wearing masks, right? That's just not true. I would watch some of his rallies and I would have to say, what, 90, of course, a lot of them are like, oh, fuck it, masks aren't real. But then you would have like 98% of them wearing masks, right? Now flip it to this thing with all the celebrations for Biden. And I think people are frustrated. And I've even had friends on the left say, oh my God, like this has, taken over our lives. I'm at risk. I have family who's at risk. I'm being safe. And now I'm seeing, like, I'm so excited to see Biden win, but now I'm seeing these huge Coachella parties happening in cities all around. What happened? Which is it? And people are going, wait, what? Because say CNN, right? We all know that they're a biased mess, as is Fox. But you will see now that there's no mention of masks or this or that, like how they tore up the other side, right? And in fact, they're like celebrating and cheering on these parties. Now, this is what happens putting these other people in the box. So people labeling all the Biden supporters now as, these good doers, always wearing masks, social distancing, what have you. And again, like, that's just not the case. I've seen Biden supporters, some of them wearing masks, some of them in the streets pouring champagne on themselves, not wearing masks. So you can't say like one entire group is and one entire group isn't. It's just not accurate. It's just not right. Why can't any of these news outlets acknowledge the gray? Some are going to fucking wear masks and some aren't. And I think, by the way, to call out this COVID thing, I know I joke that like Lingardum Revi COVID, like Hermione made it go away. I think it's because we all joked, right? Leading up to the election, everybody was like, oh, come November 3rd, we'll never hear about COVID again. I just don't think any of us thought it would happen this fast. And not that we haven't heard about COVID, but again, it's all we ever heard. And now it's like suddenly like, woohoo, all these parties are happening and no one's saying anything. And I think the bigger point here is that merely calling this out, merely calling it out and going, wait a second, I'm confused. I have whiplash. Like one is not like the other. First thing, we couldn't even, hey, everybody who's just joining, come on in. Hold on, I'm waving. Come on in. Hi. So, one is not like the other, First thing we knew is that it was this like horrible, terrible thing. Can't eat inside a restaurant, can't go to the gym, and now we can be having all of these parties. But the thing is, like, Brielle and I just did a live stream on this before Mark Zuckerberg came in and like tore out my internet with my Ethernet cord with his own bare hands. But merely pointing this out gets pushback, and that's what's scary. People on the left, right, in the middle have every right to go, well, wait a second, hold on. This disease has completely, literally, pandemic taken over the world. And now we're seeing all these celebrations and they're not necessarily being condemned. Like people have every right to be like, well, to question it, to say, wait a second. So like you can get COVID here, but you can't get COVID at a protest or a party where it benefits you. Do you know what I'm saying? And the fact, like even in the live stream Brielle and I just did, pointing out this mere fact, got pushback from people going, COVID is so real, calling each other ignorant, which by the way, knock it off. We got to stop calling each other ignorant. It's way too much. Like the Tina Fey, bitches sluts and whores. You got to stop calling each other ignorant, aka sluts and whores. It just makes it okay for everybody else to do it. Knock it off. Bowtie Bandit Evan said, where's the Rona? Not here. It's like it didn't exist. Crazy. Evan, I said it when you were on my show and I'm going to say it again. You can't say that. You'll get canceled for that, my friend. So, CXM just said, I kind of feel like middle America is now the hot spot and the major cities already been there, done that when it comes to COVID. I mean, maybe, but the thing is, again, it's like, I thought this back in the summer when, I've talked about before how highly restricted Cali is with the COVID, and that's why I had to leave because I couldn't work and I couldn't make money. And I remember at the time in California, people were like, well, wait a minute, like we can barely leave our house, but the governor and the mayor, no one is condemning any of these mass gatherings in the street. So you can't help but wonder, hey, Gavin, you can't help but wonder, are these gatherings okay if it's in line with what you believe? right? You even saw, if you may not have, but country singers have come out. I'm not, like, country is not my forte, not gonna lie. But someone from Florida Georgia Line and this other big country star put on their social media the pictures of all these crowds going on. And they made a good point. They were like, well, wait a second. How come these big parties can happen, but I can't provide for my family and play shows and play concerts? It's time to book shows and get this moving along. Guarantee you, the mob's going to try to cancel their asses. Oh, hold on, I'm going to catch up on comments, and then I'm going to get to my next point, which is the fraud. I think people have mask fatigue and have become too complacent over time, thinking the threat is less. Yeah, I think that there's mask fatigue, there's 2020 fatigue, there's election fatigue. Like, don't you just feel like being like, fuck it, where's the tequila? Newsom winery scandal had me crying. Oh, Shalar wrote, I thought you were saying hello. Oh my God. I was saying hi to Gavin, my old friend at iHeart, and she thought I was saying hi to Gavin Newsom. Shalar, you know how I feel about Gavs, the Gav Newsom. Evan just said Notre Dame fans storming the field. What the fuck? Right. So my point is, a lot of us are seeing this and going, hold on. Whoa. What just happened? And merely pointing it out doesn't warrant enough to get canceled, bitch. Okay? We're allowed to have a thought. This brings me to the fraud. So this is obviously a hot topic, button issue, however you want to call it. This is for the left and this is for the right. All of you fucking knock it off, okay? Because you have people on the left acting like nothing exists. Period. People on the left acting like nothing exists. Media isn't even covering things. And if anything, they're painting Trump as this like unhinged, crazy lunatic who's going out and painting all this false narrative and nothing. There's no base in anything and it's all bogus, right? So you have the left going to the right and saying, you're fucking crazy. There is no fraud. And you know what? We can't even talk about it because it doesn't exist. Okay. Then you have the fucking right going, oh, you know, how fucking stupid are these people on the left? How ignorant are you to not think that there's major fraud going on? Idiot. I mean, you guys, think of it like this, okay? I know that everybody is like in such a fighting mode and like so ready to call each other every name under the book. I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to say it, but why can't we just be like, you know what? Maybe there's fraud, maybe there's not, but fuck it, it's worth looking into, right? What a mind-blowing idea. Like, I have to say it, and again, I know so many of you are going to say that this is supporting Trump. If it were Biden, it would be the same thing. If they thought there was any fishy business whatsoever, if it were Biden, if it were Trump, fuck it, man. If I were running for president, I would be like, let's count these motherfucking votes, bitch. I want to know for real I got in here. They have every right, either one of these guys, as fucking old as they are, and as limited as their days are, I'm sorry. And you guys know I think Kamala's going to poison Biden's tea anyway to take that throne. But my point is, the fact that the media and so many people are like brushing it under the rug and no, it can't be discussed, it doesn't exist. And then the right is like, well, you're a fucking idiot if you don't think it exists. God, it has to stop. It has to stop. We don't know if there was, we don't know if there wasn't, but I think, like I said, they have every right to go, let's check it out. Okay, let's see, let's scope it. I'm just going to look in comments here. Alex said gaslighting. Evan said right, left foot, now step. Right foot, now step. No, I know, remember that one? I'm not, here, let's see. A Moscato twin said, I'm not sure we will ever get the real 100% answer. Do you mean about fraud or about COVID? Alex said, it's sad that such a moderate position is being attacked as a fascist talking point. Yeah. And that's the other thing I want to bring up too, is that, you know, ever since I started talking about these more controversial issues and trying to just calling shit out. I'm not one way and I'm not the other way. Just being middle of the road, it really makes me sad because I feel like you can't even be middle of the road anymore. It's almost like this mob mentality where it's either like, you're with us or you're fucking canceled, bitch. Sorry, go away. And that's what's really sad and it's really scary. I'm going to be honest, even before doing this live, I had nerves. I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know how they're going to take this. And it's just, you can't be in this, you're with us or you're wrong. Shut up. You're canceled. It's gotta stop, and it's really scary. Like, since I started talking about this stuff, you guys wouldn't believe the people who come out of the woodwork and try to, yeah, Evan just said you'll get attacked. Think about that. You can't even be in the middle anymore. You have to be on their side. I have had so many people come out of the woodwork calling me in the middle of the night, DMing me, texting me, trying to either correct me or have me admit that I'm wrong or like correct course. And I'm like, for what? For calling shit as I see it? You guys who've been following me know me. I have no political agenda. I could give a fuck. And I've said it many times. I think the whole two-party system is trash anyway. I've said it before and I'll say it again, sweetie. Evan said you got the courage to do it. Also, I want to follow up Moscato twins, when I asked if we'll never find an answer to COVID or about the fraud, he said about both. Haha. Yeah, Evan said, what's scary? It's true. And it's making me, I'm really starting to question the future of all this, whatever happens, like, is this sort of mob mentality? I mean, it has to end. It's just causing, such divide. And I know that we know this, but it's like we still, again, why are people texting me and calling me in the middle of the night to challenge me, to send me all this stuff, to almost like I said, correct me? It's like, we know this, we know how divided we are, and I hate to say this, but you are letting the media perpetuate this because they fucking love this shit. They're watching it with their popcorn. I don't care which outlet it is. They fucking love this shit. They get off to it. They love us being so divided. I mean, again, look at the headlines, right? I bring it back to the beginning with Trump. Oh, he's so irresponsible for having these rallies and no one's wearing masks. And then you go to the Biden champagne popping, shot taking, belly shots, twerking, parades on the street, and it's okay. I mean, again, left, right, middle, you can't help but just wonder. A Good Farm said, so many of my friends on the left put up those, if you vote Trump, you are dead to me. It's gotta stop. And I tried to get to this in my last live too, but the whole thing about how, and it's on both sides, like the right accuses the left of being these like socialist, hippy dippy, what have you. And then the left accuses the right of being these capitalist monster, racist, misogynist. It's gotta stop. It's really gotta stop. Because here's a comment, because we are a society that loves to have the last word, doesn't matter what it is. People want to feel right and want to feel like they know better than the next person. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. I'm just praying, sometimes I feel really defeated, honestly, because I'm just like, well, where does it go from here? Like, it feels like trying to have an independent voice in this climate is like fucking impossible, because people's hate for the other side, it exceeds everything else. It exceeds every fucking thing else. Like, literally. I feel like someone could like murder another person point blank, and if they're your political affiliation, you'll be like, oh, it's okay, they got off, they're innocent. I mean, I literally feel like that's how people on both sides are this deranged. I'm right there with you. Yeah. So that's why I wanted to hop on here, because I wanted to address the COVID thing. And what I forgot to mention earlier as well, which I talked about today with Brielle, is I think another reason people are like, wait, what the fuck is going on, is because we heard like it was such a stink about the mail-in ballots. And so I saw this on social media and I was like, wait, what? How the fuck were people not like, okay, so people couldn't go vote in person, but now they could be having like carnivals in the streets. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't not wonder. You can't not wonder. Yeah, Alex said literally, James, love this discussion, and oh my God, yes, I feel this with you 100%. Evan, it's that bad now, crazy world. Gilded. I know, Brielle, great convo earlier. Hopefully this one saves and Mark Zuckerberg doesn't have me like in purgatory. I hate the hypocrisy. Russian collusion for 4 years to this election is 100% legit. Yeah, I mean, that's another argument, right? Is that just calling it as I see it, like, all anyone heard about for 4 years was like Russian meddling in election and da-da-da-da-da-da. And now for like the same side to say that it's so absurd that any sort of like meddling with the election could never happen. It's just bonkers. Like, it's just flat out bonkers. Straight the fuck up. Yeah, and the double standard is another thing. Like, we see them all day long. They're by the dozen. Making people too scared to vote in person is also voter suppression. Evan said LA during Halloween was crazy, too many parties. So, Evan, before I hop off, I want to ask you this because I know that you are a Biden supporter. And like I said earlier, I have friends who are Biden supporters. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I think it was Jack Dorsey trying to come arrest me. I know. Okay, am I back? I'm telling you, this is the work of Jack Dorsey, no lie. Evan, so what I was going to ask you is, I have friends, like I said, who are stoked that Biden won, and they were really upset to see all these parties going on. What was your take when you, okay, you're listening, yeah. What was your take seeing all of this happen? People are like, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I think I'm going to do an episode later this week with a guest about all the censorship because I'm like fucking genuinely scared for my life. Pause due to poor connection again. This is the work of big tech. I am convinced. Evan, okay, so he said it was too many parties and celebrations. Yeah, I mean, I think that it, you know, I can't speak for my friends who have said this, but I think to them again, like, they've heard so much and seen about how COVID has just like destroyed so many lives and they have health issues or their family has health issues and they took it so seriously as this message was pushed. And they kind of feel like a slap in the face that it's like, okay, now it's okay to like have these raging parties, you know? I believe it. No, for real. Before, I'm going to end this before they like really come in and like take me out by my hair clips. Yeah, in the streets, what the fuck, right? So I'm going to just leave it at that. You know what? We have to get to a point again where not only can we hear the other side, but like we can't keep calling each other ignorant, racist, all this shit. It's got to stop. It's got to fucking stop. And then all of this nonsense about not only like discrediting the other side, but acting like it doesn't exist. So acting like the COVID double standard doesn't exist or fraud costs. Again, whether not it, what is it to hide? But to act like to be shut down, they need to go away, exist. Or not. I'm going to keep telling things, saying stuff. If that warrants me canceled, fucking so. Before I end comment, I love comments coming. Evan said no mask. I was salty because I want to party, but the road was winning. Right? It is if you believe it is dead, otherwise down. No happy medium. Why does it be mashed denying science? Exactly. That's like this whole thing. I'm just hating the division most. It makes me sad. I hate seeing perspective of views when that hasn't said anything. Too much of it's sad. I know it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Let's say this. All best friend the entire for vote like Trump. Yeah, that's a perfect to end it. I actually put up this meme and analyze it. Thought said if you voted for Biden, I love you. If you vote Trump, I love you. If you saw gravy, you're dead to me. That's an Italian reference. And if you call pasta noodles, you are also dead to me. That is the only thing that's getting in 2020. So let's quit the nonsense. Taylor goes live big time. No, yeah, I already see this is glitching like crazy. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg and like a bit what is it? Starts with my face in the middle. But with that said, not to be Mr. Wrong here, not peace and love, like yeah, both throwing each other and one another, you know, making it so the other person has to go and can't even hear, silenced, bro. I don't want to be in that kind of world. I don't know about you. It's got to stop. Thanks for joining, guys. I will see you next. Hopefully, I won't be held hostage.